Sometimes when we look at indicators, we are just not certain what they might do. And one of those examples can be when zip green hits 100, because most of us are familiar with what we refer to as the pink-green top. And that's zip green moving along at 100 and zip pink moving along and climbing each day up against zip green, or at least most of the time. And the basic rule is that cycle turns and goes down, the zip pink must be against zip green. And this happens in about probably I'm going to say 90% or maybe a little more than that of the time. The rest of the time we'll find when zip green hits 100 and travels for a few days at 100, pink will be real low. It could be 30 points lower, and it is oftentimes under some of the other lines, like the zip red and gray, or even the yellow and the blue. So when zip green hits 100, there are some key things that we can look for. And I have 3 examples here. The first one is on the pink vertical line. Zip green is at 100. It's just stuck its nose out up over the zip yellow line. Zip yellow is actually at 96. And when we look over here into the trend chart, right over here, we see that trend red is up touching trend blue, and green is also up touching, and of course gray is up touching the pink. And so we have a significant amount of indicators that are up touching other lines, which would tell us that we're going to have a red day on the following day. It doesn't go down very far, but it is a red candle. On the red vertical line, we have zip green again sticking its nose out, and above it is also is at 100. And in this particular case, zip Zion is a couple of days, swing Zion is a couple of days up, and it's just about ready to touch the swing gray line, which we classify as a wide line, or a line that can be touched, because normally we don't deal with much in the way of the swing gray line being up touched or down touched, but it does qualify as a contributing factor. In the red vertical line on the trend chart and the power chart, we have red in a low angle up, again up touching the blue line, and we don't really have anything in the power chart as far as a down touch goes. We have red going down, but it's not really down touching anything. On the green line day, we have again zip green at 100. We do not have any touches, and there's no up touches on this line at all, in the trend chart, in the power chart, in the zip chart, in the swing chart, or the price chart. And so next day, even though green stuck its nose out, the next day or the next several days again were green candles. And obviously you can, if you didn't see it here in the zip chart, we have zip Zion is lowest and going up, which is an indication of an uptrend. And so you can pick these turnarounds up just by the matching up touches in other charts. And so from that perspective, that's the one of the best ways to pick the turnaround, is to identify some kind of uptouch. And this particular stock was strong in an upward movement. It was, if you didn't notice it, if you notice right down here in the zip chart, the yellow is really high, bouncing up over 80 all the time. So we're in a significant uptrend throughout this whole thing, but yet we were able to pick up a couple of we were able to identify that the days after the red vertical line and the pink vertical line were both red candles. So again, these are zip, what we refer to as pinpoint moves. These happen to be in with zip green, but they work pretty much the same. You can see when the thing is going to go down. I mean, zip pink does this, zip yellow does this, swing gray and pink will do it. So there's many indicators that will have pinpoint peaks or pinpoint bottoms. Zip red and gray are classic. When when they're spiking down and gray goes under red, actually appears under red, it usually increases the chances of the high probability turnaround. When gray is under red when it spikes down. Same is true when it spikes up or peaks. If gray is above red, then it will typically, I don't want to say almost always, but it's pretty close to that, go back down. So those are some zip green pinpoint peaks.